back again today with my argument star. I'm a very good singer, but I don't know why a lot of people don't really agree with me, like with this special sonorous voice. Are you sure you know what the meaning of sonorous is? I bet you maybe that's not the meaning. Just go and check again to be sure that you know what I mean by saying that. So, well, I'm still surprised that a lot of people do not believe that I could sing so well, the perfect singer. Well, the truth remains that people see me and see every one of us some particular way, and sometimes what they see might be true. You never can tell. Why is it that people don't believe that I can sing well, despite the fact that I believe so? So what am I saying in essence? What I'm saying is that people see us some particular way. People around see what they want to see, and sometimes what they really want to see might be true. Truly, not in all cases. Not in all cases do people see us the perfect way. But there are times when we have majority seeing us that same way, then we might need to check out some things. So today we are just wrapping up on identity, and I want to welcome you once again to this episode of Clustered Knots. I'm so glad to have you join me. And for everyone that has joined in the past episodes, I want to just thank you for the support. It's been wonderful. It's been so great to me. You know, we always get better as time goes on. So, and I want to appreciate my guest that has actually shown us, has talked about a few things. I want to appreciate John that came on to talk about his experience schooling outside Nigeria, the country where I'm from actually, and his experience just schooling outside, the notion about blacks from his own angle, and how he was able to survive that. And I think he also captured some moments on social media and his own thoughts about it. So I think the basic thing I learned from that is know the reason why you're doing anything that you're doing. And also Ola came with the beautiful story, just sharing with us his transformation. And for me it was so interesting, making me to see that everyone is capable of change so far you have it in mind. I'm not here to necessarily preach one thing or the other, but I'm saying that if you have the mind of changing a particular narrative, there is a great possibility of changing it. Even if you cannot change your personality, you can still change the narrative behind that personality, because people tend to see some set of people some way, but you can change the narrative of those people. Despite the fact that you cannot change that personality, you can change the narrative of those people to see you in the way you really want to see you. So I won't always accept or agree to the fact that you should just stick to the status quo. This is the way the world sees us. And going back to what John also mentioned, the world would definitely see you some way, but you can change the narrative when it comes to you. And of course, the amazing Kingsley May rounded it up by also sharing his stories, how the death of his father affected him generally, or how he was able to scale through that experiences and becoming who he is today. I believe you, and if you haven't listened, they're all there. I'll put those links in the description button. Just take time to listen through. Now, thoughts on identity before we move past this stage is that, number one, you are seen some way, like you put out a particular image and you cannot change that about yourself. You put out a particular image, and the beauty of that is that when a policeman stops you, he asks for a level of identity. You do not show your work identity in that situation. You show your driver's license because he wants to know that if you are capable of driving for so long or do all that. So at your place of work, what is asked of you is your work identity, not necessarily your driver's license. If you ask for your driver's license, that means they need that part of you. Maybe you can commute from this place to the other place. just to have a good information of that. And of course, when you are at the embassy, the question that you're always asked is your passport. Most times, no one cares about if you can drive or not. The most important thing is your passport. So what am I saying in essence? There is this identity you're expected to put out there at every point in time. That means that despite the fact that you have a lot of ways people can see you, but there are ways some people see you at every point in time. And the truth remains that even when you are at home, the way people at home sees you is usually different from work, because you're closer to the people at home. You tend to be yourself. So basically what I'm saying is, are you sure what you're putting out there is what you want people to see? And I'm so careful saying this word. I'm not supporting pretense in any way. I'm not supporting pretense. But what I'm saying is, you can always get better in situations instead of that. Just like I said, I think I can sing. I was just joking anyways, but I think I can sing. When I say I think I can sing, but people don't get to see me, get to know that I can sing, then most likely, if that's the situation, most likely maybe I cannot. If people around do not compliment you on those songs, on those things, maybe you cannot, or maybe you haven't achieved that point. So what am I saying in essence? Because I say maybe you cannot, or you haven't gotten to that point, doesn't mean you cannot get to that point. All I'm saying is, you can work on anything that you want to see. Just like we said in one of the podcasts, if you want to be a leader, you start from somewhere. So if you want to be this particular person, you start from somewhere. I believe if you're an engineer today, or a medical doctor, or anything that you had, you did not just start today, you started from somewhere. So all I'm trying to beseech us today is that there is a way you want people to see you, or there is a way you want to be seen. You can get better at it. Try your best, do your best. Read books on things like that. Listen to podcasts related to anything that you want to improve on. Become a better version of yourself. There are some ideas that you think that they are very difficult to work on. I would never take away the position of life, and also just life eating us generally. There are some things we never planned for, and happens which might not. I will never take away that position. But let's imagine something is coming in your favor. Are you really ready to even take it? Just do your best, hoping that life will definitely swing in your favor. And for me, I'm a believer of Christ, and I believe in what He can do. So I believe that life doesn't just happen, but it happens for a reason. So preparation goes a long way to achieve anything you want to achieve. So what am I saying today? You want to achieve that particular thing is so difficult, just like for someone like me. Maybe I can go more for voice trainings, and if I know that that's not the way to go in my life, maybe I can consider other things and do not need to struggle about that. So what am I saying in essence today to you as a person is, maybe you might have to consider other things, or try and improve on that. Don't struggle with people, don't fight people trying to prove yourself. What you have will definitely show you at that particular point in time. What you have will bring you out at any point in time. Trust me, if you're very good at it, it's going to bring you out. And finally, my thoughts on social media. It's so important, and one thing I will say, I think Ola also mentioned it, John mentioned it, Kingsley also mentioned it, is that not the reason why you're doing it. Why are you doing what you're doing? If it is a good enough reason, then go for it. But just check it deep down. If it's just because of people's attention, it might not totally worth it. But if it's more than that, like, okay, you have plans, you're trying to get people's attention for some reasons, for a greater good, yeah, it's worth it. But all I'm saying is, if that's all you're worth, what people say, it gets to a point whereby the whole world might be against you, and you don't have a choice at that point in time. Know the reason why you're doing it. It's simple. The social media these days is an avenue to show yourself, to show things, to show what you're capable of doing. There are a lot of things you can achieve through social media these days, and it's all thanks to the internet, all thanks to this global network these days. So what am I saying in essence? Do anything, but understand the intent, understand the reason, so that you won't fall so hard when it comes to it. And do not give yourself unnecessary pressure. Try and be better at what you do. But if it is beyond what you can do, I would suggest do not kill yourself. Because all that you celebrate, there might be more to it. And even if there is not a lot of things to it, your path is different, your path is unique. Just become better, see yourself being that better version, and you'll be well. Thank you for joining this journey with me, and I believe that we've learned few things. And the first, identity. You're seen some way, people see you some way. You can get better. If you're cool with the way people see you, great. But if you're not good with it, try and get better. If you think people see you as someone who talks a lot, and if that's what you want, I'm not even here to talk about, okay, is it good, is it bad? No, not today. Not today. I think subsequently we are still going to look at that. But if you're good with that, people see you as this talkative, you're good with that, congratulations. But if you do not really like that, read books on self-control, read books on how to just improve yourself, and maybe it might help in a way. So the world sees you some way, you put out some image, do you want to improve on it? Yeah. If you need a redirection, work on redirecting yourself, and know the reason why you do things. Are you doing it for self-gratification? If that's all you need, it's also good. Just check why you're doing things, and you'll be fine. Thank you for joining. See you next week. When we are looking at next month, we are considering one-sided story or single story. You can call it any of one-sided story. You know, most of these times you hear this side of the story, you don't get to hear the other part of the story, and then you're so worried, why is it like this, after hearing the other part of the story. So and I believe Chimamanda Adichie wrote a book very related to that, Dangers of a Single Story. And I believe it's just something that we need to hear, something that we need to just listen to together. And I believe we'll learn one or two things. Thank you.